What is this? Sandwich. Backpacking is a lot like a sandwich. But what kind of sandwich? Before I begin, I want to say that this is a video. I'm a beginner backpacker, and I have been backpacking for about 7 months now, so I want to do a beginner's guide by a beginner.
But what is backpacking? Backpacking is outdoorsman talk for, I want to see that view. How do I get there?
Today we will be going over the absolute essentials and cheapest possible way to go backpacking. We do not care about weight, and we do not care about looking cool. To teach you dummies, the first layer of our sandwich is the bread. The bread of a backpacking sandwich is obviously the backpack. Check out this backpack. The main difference from a hiking backpack and the backpack that you take to school is that this backpack is cooler and looks tactical and has a bunch of compartments. While you can probably get away with using a normal backpack on a hiking trip, I would not recommend it, as it will be very painful for your shoulders and potentially your back.
Spinal. I
got this bag off of Facebook Marketplace for $30. It is a 35-liter REI bag, and I can comfortably get away with 2 to 3 nights of camping in this small bag. The important thing with these bags is not only the size to fit your body, it's not a one-size-fits-all, and also the capacity. I think they go from like 20 liters to 60 or 80, depending on how long your trip is going to be. The brand does not matter. Essentially, all backpacks are the same. People will try to tell you you need the lightest, coolest, awesomest bag that's $2,000, but really you can go with just about anything as long as it has decent support and can fit your gear. Many people struggle with overanalyzing, trying to spend too much money to go outside, to be prepared. But you know what I say about overanalyzing and thinking about things?
You just need to calm down. We need to think for a second. We just need to think this out.
Fuck thinking, we need to act!
If the backpack is the bread of the sandwich, then the tent or the hammock is the lettuce. Completely optional, but sometimes refreshing. I say this is optional because many people will camp without a tent or shelter, and this is completely fine if you are experienced. If not, I highly recommend it, because what if a little creature came and touched you while you were sleeping? That would be very unsettling. Depending on your area of the world, you may want to get a tent, you may want to get a hammock. Maybe you want to get a treehouse tent and climb all the way to the top of a tree and sleep in there. This is all personal preference, and there are many cheap options. I got a Chinese tent off of Amazon for $60, and it has been very good for over 10 camps now, I believe. I have lately switched to a hammock due to it being extremely hot and wet every single day of the summer. This is totally up to preference and sleeping style. As a side sleeper, it is very hard for me to sleep in a hammock versus the tent. The tent will probably be one of the heavier items of your bag, so as I said, we don't care about weight. This is probably the only item that you should be wary about. Or if you're incredibly strong and you can carry a house on your back, that is an option as well. Depending on who may be making your sandwich, you may be thinking the cheese is the most important optional piece of the sandwich. Many of you may think it's even mandatory, which is why I'm placing the sleeping bag and sleeping pad as the cheese of the backpacking sandwich. When choosing the right sleeping bag, really, if you can't go wrong unless you are in an area where it is extremely cold. You kind of have to spend more money for extra warmth. Another driver of cost to sleeping bags is the weight. Again, all these lightweight items are going to be very expensive. A synthetic sleeping bag will be much heavier than a down sleeping bag, while also being warmer than the synthetic bag. Now, all this synthetic and non-synthetic talk may be scaring you, so if you're in cold weather, this might be the most expensive item of your bag. In the winter, I use a 0-degree bag, which is very heavy, but it is also very comfortable. It takes up a lot of room in my bag, and I can't have some nice things like coffee or extra food. This may require you to plan a bit more. Again, Facebook Marketplace is going to be your friend in this situation. You can get really cheap, nice bags from people who have given up on backpacking once they realized they spent $2,000 on an ultralight setup and used it once. This is your time to swoop in and lowball them. Like cheese on a sandwich, the sleeping bag still is optional. In the summer, I can get away without one. I would also like to mention sleeping pads. These are amazing. I was going most of my life sleeping on the ground on every camping trip and just thought I'll never get a good night's sleep out in the woods. The difference between sleeping with and without a pad, it's more like instead of sleeping on cold, solid concrete, you're sleeping on like the carpet at your friend's house during a sleepover, where he goes to sleep before you and you don't have any blankets, so you have to go in the linen closet and you're actually sleeping with towels. It may not sound like it, but this is much more pleasant than the concrete. The most important part of human survival, and potentially the most important part of your camping: food and water. The main reason why many people go into the woods or camp is to then cook in the woods to feel like a caveman, and also food tastes way yummier when you are starving in the woods. Since this is probably the most essential backpacking subject, this will be the meat of the backpacking sandwich. When backpacking, you will need clean water and water storage. It is recommended that you have a couple water bottles with you because you will be sweating a lot, and this requires water. It is also nice if you plan ahead your trail and see a stream or two that you can then refill on water with a filter perhaps. This is my water filter that I got for $30. I can put water into a pouch and squeeze this into my water bottles or directly drink from it. The second option, if you don't like water filters, put the water in some kind of container and then boil it. This is a camping stove that I got at Walmart for maybe $20. I also pair it with a little propane burner that I got for probably $10. With the power of these two items, you will make every caveman jealous because you have the power of fire within one click. That is one option for a stove. Obviously, there's the option of making an actual fire, or there are some other options like little metal containers and denatured alcohol as a little bit more environmentally friendly fire for cooking. These little propane canisters are probably the cheapest and most common option. Something about cooking in the woods with extremely basic tools, when you know that you're probably 2 hours max from having your food delivered straight to you from any restaurant you want, really makes you feel alive. The type of food on backpacking is probably the next most important thing. During your trip, you are most likely going to be burning a lot of calories, so you need a refill. Calories is short for calories, by the way, I'm just using slang. A lot of times, camping and hiking, you will be eating dried foods that you just boil, rehydrate, and then eat, like MREs, pasta, rice. Sometimes you can get away with bringing things like cheese or other high-calorie options. Peanut butter, for example. This is totally up to preference, but I wouldn't be bringing things that are perishable. Obviously, you don't have a refrigerator while you're out here. Now, after having meat, cheese, lettuce, and bread, you might be thinking, well, that sounds like a sandwich to me. But you're forgetting a crucial ingredient. The condiments, the sauce. You don't want to be having a dry sandwich. Nobody likes that. Which brings me to my final item of the backpacking sandwich, which is actually many items, as there are many sauces to be loading up on in the wilderness. Even if you're a pro with all the gear in the world or a beginner, you're gonna be bringing some random items with you, and these may be some of those that maybe you forgot about. One of these things might be something like this, a knife. This can come in handy a lot because not only will you be cutting something or maybe carving something out of a stick because you're bored, or you don't have any utensils, so you're having to skewer things and eat them. A very last resort may be self-defense, although hopefully it doesn't have to come to that. There are many different survival knives or multi-tools that would be helpful on a trip like this. Just having 1 or 2 sharp items with you in the woods is usually a good idea.
Look at all this junk. Look at all this stuff I got. Toilet paper, headlamp, mini hatchet, toothpaste again.
With the main items of your bag covered and your sandwich almost complete, you can fill the rest of your bag with any items that you see fit or think you might need. Something that I would recommend would be something like paracord, maybe toilet paper, or utensils, first aid, if you care about that sort of thing, bear spray, if you're in an area with bears. These miscellaneous items may be more essential than even some of the essential items of the sandwich. Congratulations, you have graduated Cole's School of Backpacking. You are now ready to go out in the woods alone and start surviving. And you have nothing to be scared of because you have your sandwich. Again, I am just a beginner, still trying to figure things out. Over my limited experience, these are the things that I have deemed essential on my trips, and packing around these items has helped me plan my trips and enjoy my time in the woods. The main point I want to get across is you do not need the most expensive ultralight gear. You do not need any fancy clothes or even a cool, lightweight, foldable chair. It is unnecessary noise getting in the way of your time outside. So if you follow this guide loosely, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out how to survive on your very first trip. This is not financial advice, and I am not responsible for the actions that may occur while you try to go camping. Now, go outside and stop watching YouTube. It's time to act.